Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today's video I'm so excited to be sharing with you now that I've curated this list of, in my opinion, the most affordable, everyday appropriate fragrances from different companies. I have a couple of choices for you, but I will tell you there is definitely a theme. There are certain brands in the Indian market that make more affordable yet very good quality fragrances. These are not like super cheap like those 200-300 rupee perfumes that you will find. These are more reputed known brands that are still very easily available and accessible. I don't think that any of these are not accessible in my personal opinion, and they still make really good quality fragrances that I personally think that if you are just starting out and you want to curate your collection and you want to add just a couple of fragrances to the lineup where you have a variety, where it's not gonna pinch your pocket, where it's still gonna be really good options as well. Like I feel like each of these brands also have a lot of variety where you can pick out from different scents, so it's not just like one or two perfumes. There are a lot of options, and I thought this would be really helpful. So in case you're interested in knowing what my picks are for this video, please keep on watching. And in case you are someone out there who already owns these fragrances or other fragrances from the same line, I want you to also share your opinions on which ones you own. Tell us about the notes and what the fragrance is like, because that way I feel like more people out there can actually find that helpful. And I know a lot of you actually really love fragrance and own a lot of it, have tried a lot of it, so I'm sure that you'll have some valuable feedback and opinions to share with other people who are now just finally getting into it. So yeah, that's that was a pretty long intro. I did not mean to talk so much, but now let's jump right into it. The first fragrance brand that I want to speak about is Plum. I feel like Plum makes really good fragrances. They have a lot of options as well, and I feel like depending on what you like, you will find something. If you like more of fresh fragrances, you should go for Triple Mimosa. If you like more of like a Victoria's Secret body mist but at a budget, go for Orchid Me Not. If you like more of a tropical fragrance, I would suggest Hawaiian Rumba, which is my absolute favorite. It is sweet, it's tropical, it's fruity, it's like a freaking pina colada. It's amazing. It is so amazing. You can see I have gone through so much of this, and not just the perfume itself. I love all the products that they make in general. And if you're someone who's been following me for a long time, you would know that. In case you're new and you don't know that, I am obsessed with the Hawaiian Rumba fragrance, like the scent profile in general. So I would absolutely recommend this particular version as well. I will tell you though that I personally find it to be not the most long lasting. They claim that the EDP is going to last for up to 10 hours, which is not the case in my opinion. A, I get a little nose blind to it after a couple of hours, and B, I feel like none of these affordable fragrances that I have to share with you have like beast mode longevity and projection. So I just want to tell you that right now, that please don't expect any of that from this, because then you'll probably be disappointed. Because these are more affordable, you also have to go into it with that caveat. Also, price wise, this is I guess $9.50 for the 50 ml size, which is this particular size. So it's a decent size, and depending on how often you're using it, you will run out of it sooner or later, but I think that's still pretty decently affordable. And if you want to try them out and you want to figure out which scent you would probably go for, I would actually recommend this particular size. This is the 15 ml size, but it's still a pretty decent one. And this is Everything Plum. This is like just literally everything. It is powdery, it is sweet, it is floral, it is a little like biting, gourmand, a little like, I don't want to say seductive, but like intoxicating, and very addictive. So I really liked this particular scent when I first tried it. I thought I'm going to be absolutely obsessed with it, and I still do like it. but I feel like it's not like a signature scent that I would personally wear every single day, and that's why I'm recommending you to get this size, because I feel like in the 15 ml you will really be able to figure out like some specific scents you're like in the beginning you really like it, and then the more you use it you realize, okay, I might not be as in love with it as I thought. And before you spend like $9.50 on one perfume, I would actually suggest getting this size, so you get to try them out and then figure out which one is your favorite. They also have a set where you get like 5 or 6, I believe, each of them in this size, so that way you'll get to try all of it out. Like again, when I smell it, I really like it, but when I'm wearing it, I'm like not the biggest fan, if that makes any sense. And I have a little bit left, so yeah, that tells you that I really went through a journey with this one. So yeah, that was the first fragrance pick that I wanted to share with you. The second one is like a classic. I feel like this has been around for a long time, and that is the Skinn by Titan fragrances. This particular one is Celeste that I have. I also had the travel spray of nude. I did not like nude. I have decluttered it. Celeste, like you can see, I've completely used up. This is like a spoiler on my project, like my perfume project plan for the year. But Celeste is such a beautiful, sweet, powdery, very feminine fragrance. If you like feminine, sweet fragrances, you like this. If you like something that is more either musky or fresh, then don't go for this. They have other fragrances in their lineup as well, which would probably be more up your alley. Again, do not like the longevity of Skinn by Titan fragrances at all, and that is one reason it makes me a little difficult to recommend it, only because of the longevity. But if you're just getting into, you know, fragrances, then I feel like if you want to discover more likable fragrances and discover what you actually like, it might be something that you would want to go for. Again, you can go for the travel sprays as well. They do make it in like small sizes where you can test out the fragrances and see. Also with Skinn by Titan, it's very accessible. You can go to a counter and you can smell them before you decide which one you want to buy. So I really like the whole idea of it. Just the specific fragrance and the longevity can be a little bit of an issue, so do keep that in mind. But I still wanted to recommend it, even though I don't find the longevity to be great. And that's not just something that I am saying. I have spoken to so many people who've also told me they're not very happy with the longevity on this one. So it's not just a me thing, it's like a in general thing. Like sometimes I feel like it's just a me thing with certain fragrances, like even with Hawaiian Rumba, I feel like it's just a me thing. But with Skinn by Titan, everyone thinks that it's not very long lasting, so that is possibly going to be an issue. Then we have some Nykaa fragrances. I have 2 fragrance lines from Nykaa's lineup that I want to talk about. The first one is this one. This is the Masaba by Nykaa range, but I know they have one that is not in collaboration with Masaba as well, and there are, I believe, 6 fragrances in that line, and then even the Masaba line has like, I believe, 6 fragrances, I want to say. So there is definitely a lot of options to choose from. I personally did not like any of the other ones, but I know that other people might end up liking it, so that's why I want to say that if you happen to be in a mall that has a Nykaa store or a Nykaa even section, like a small section where you can actually smell these fragrances, please go ahead and go and check it out and smell them. I have Croc and Roll to share here with me, and this is one that actually has better longevity as compared to some of the other fragrances I spoke about. It lasts longer than Hawaiian Rumba for me, definitely lasts longer than Celeste, and this specifically is Croc and Roll. It is a very subtle, subdued, watery, floral. It's not sweet at all, but it's a very nice feminine fragrance, something that's not going to give you a headache, not going to give anyone around you a headache, and that is, I think, just great. I haven't smelled any fragrance like this, and that's something I say very often for this one specifically. And you guys have actually worn this a lot, and it doesn't look like that at all. This is a 100 ml bottle. The others, like this is 50 ml, Even Celeste is 50 ml. So these, yeah, I flew through and I was wearing them pretty regularly. I also have to overspray. I feel like with a lot of them, with this one you don't have to overspray as much, and I think that is also one of the reasons that I haven't used much. But also I wear this very often and I don't see much of a dent in it, so that is pretty great. And this is a 100 ml bottle, like I told you. So even though it is a little bit more expensive than those, I mean Celeste is also pretty expensive, I have to tell you that. Even the 50 ml would cost you somewhere close to like 1500, but this one costs the same amount of money for double the quantity of product. So that is absolutely amazing, and I would highly recommend you check out the Masaba by Nykaa fragrances. Again, I know some of you are going to ask me for recommendations. Unfortunately, I cannot recommend anything else apart from this one specifically, but what I would actually recommend you to do is go to a store and smell them, and then you'll be able to get a better idea. The other Nykaa fragrance I want to speak about, and the other range that I want to speak about from Nykaa, is this one. It's the Love Struck range. Again, this range also has ancillary products. They have shower gel and they have body lotions. I've owned both in this specific scent. This is Love Notes. I've spoken about this so many times. It's like Celeste but more sweeter and more deeper and more winter appropriate. I would not wear this in the summertime because this is so like marshmallowy, powdery, sweet, to the point where it's a little bit sickly sweet to wear in the hot weather. But in the winter, I loved it so freaking much that I used up the entire thing. And again, it smells so amazing. It's Love Notes. It's the pink one. Again, great longevity, great options in terms of fragrances. Like, that's what I was really going with when I was selecting which ones I want to speak about. I was looking at affordability, how accessible they are in terms of the price point, and I was looking at how many options you have in the specific range. In this range also, I believe there are 6 to 8 fragrances, which is great. And I know a lot of people who like more fresh fragrances or like unisex fragrances. They really like the green one that is in here. 2 of my friends are absolutely obsessed with the green one. I'm obsessed with the pink one. They did not like the pink one as much. So that is telling you that don't go just by my recommendation, because all these fragrances are so easily available and accessible. You can actually go to a store and smell them and try them out and then decide which one you want to pick. So that is Nykaa Love Notes from the Love Struck range. Last but not the least, this is probably the least accessible one in terms of you cannot go to a store and like smell them. It's actually a brand and basically 2 women who are basically related to each other. They came out with this brand a couple of years ago. It's called Scentz Perfumes. They have now renamed and like rebranded themselves as House of Fragrance on Instagram, and I believe the packaging, the name of the company, everything has changed now. It is House of Fragrance, but when I've been speaking about them earlier, I've always referred to them as Scentz Perfumes. And if you have been watching my videos, you would know how much I was obsessed with it. And I think they make really great fragrances at a very affordable price, and it's a small homegrown brand that I would love to support. They literally make all of this in their house and you know, basically sell it. And for a small business to have been you know, operating and working since so long, that really tells you that they have great products that sustain in the market, because I've seen so many small brands kind of phasing out and fading out and closing down eventually. So it's great that this brand still exists. I purchased from them like 2 or 3 years ago, and I bought a ton of samples. So earlier their whole marketing and ideology was like, we are creating replicas of designer fragrances and that's what we're selling. So every single fragrance that they have, that they list out, is actually like a designer fragrance name, and they've basically created replicas for all those fragrances that they sell. I will tell you that I don't think every single replica is like to the point. Some I would say are 60% similar, some are like 70-80% similar, some might be a little bit different, maybe some might not be as complex, but for them to make really good fragrances and a lot of the samples that I purchased from them, not samples actually, but they make it in different sizes. So you can either buy a 20 ml or a 30 ml or a 50 ml or a 100 ml. So they've got 4 different options, and I purchased the 20 ml and all the fragrances that I wanted to try out, because at that point I actually hadn't even tried out a lot of designer fragrances. Like, I wasn't buying decants back then, so it was my first time trying out all these fragrances, and I was like, okay, I'll get the 20 ml in multiple different ones. I'll just see which ones I like and which ones I don't, and then I can decide which one I want to repurchase and which one I don't want to repurchase in the bigger size. And there are quite a few that I really liked. I have a dedicated video where I'm reviewing all my favorites. I'm talking about least favorite to most favorite, etc., comparing them. I've just created a ton of content already in regards to that, and if you go to my YouTube and just search Scentz Perfumes, you will be able to find the videos where I have referenced and spoken about them. So I have quite a few favorites, and again, I find that these to be really affordable. Of course, they are kind of making this in their house, so they don't have a lot of the overhead costs that some of these other brands do have. So of course, keep that in mind, but also these are pretty great quality for a pretty affordable price. So that's something that I also wanted to speak about in this video, is sharing with you affordable fragrances that are actually pretty good quality and that I would actually recommend to people. So yes, that is that. Those were all the fragrances that I want to speak about. If anyone is just starting out their perfume collection and wanted recommendations, I really hope that this video was helpful for you, and I hope you enjoyed. And that's going to be it for the video. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, bye. By the way, I will list everything down below that I spoke about in this video. Until next time.